Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Alert. Today, we're diving into some explosive claims that have the entire currency community buzzing. There are rumors that major global banks are secretly coordinating for a massive revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong in 2025. Is this the moment we've all been waiting for, or just more internet hype? Let's break it down. The latest wave of excitement kicked off when several influencers claimed that top banks in the US, Europe, and the Middle East were quietly updating their systems. They say these banks are changing protocols for exotic currency rate changes, beefing up security, and training staff for large-scale foreign currency redemptions. Supporters of this theory believe this can't be a coincidence. They see it as proof that the global banking system is getting ready for a coordinated realignment of undervalued currencies with the dinar and dong front and center. So, why these two currencies? For the dinar, optimists point to Iraq's rising oil production, anti-corruption efforts, and new international partnerships. They believe Iraq is setting the stage for a currency that truly reflects its immense oil wealth. As for the dong, Vietnam's economy is on fire. It's one of Asia's fastest-growing markets, attracting huge foreign investment and expanding its trade. Supporters feel a stronger dong is inevitable. Plus, both currencies have been surrounded by revaluation rumors for over a decade, so for many, a coordinated global reset just makes sense. The core of this theory is that global banks are synchronizing everything to avoid chaos when the RV happens. This would supposedly include unified rate change timing across the world, instant digital updates for wire systems, and even specialized exchange locations for those holding large amounts of currency. The idea is to prevent black markets and frantic speculation from taking over. However, economists and professional currency analysts are pushing back hard. They argue there's simply no evidence for any of this. First, they say that central banks almost never do sudden massive reevaluations. It would shock the market. Changes usually happen gradually. Second, neither Iraq's nor Vietnam's central bank has even hinted at a major RV for 2025. And third, those banking system updates. They say that's just routine maintenance and security improvements that happen all the time. Despite these expert opinions, the community remains divided. Some are absolutely convinced that 2025 is the year everything changes, claiming insider sources have confirmed it. Others are urging caution, reminding everyone that we've heard these same rumors for years. The debate is getting heated, with accusations of misinformation and denial flying from both sides. So, what's the bottom line? While the idea of global banks secretly planning a dinar and dong RV in 2025 is incredibly exciting, there is no verifiable evidence to support these claims. The excitement seems to be fueled by a powerful mix of hope, rumors, and 2 decades of speculation. Real-world factors, like Iraq's reforms and Vietnam's growth, could lead to a gradual appreciation of their currencies over time, but a sudden, overnight jackpot remains unconfirmed. As always, stay cautious, rely on official sources, and be careful about making decisions based on online chatter. Have you heard the latest buzz? The currency speculation world is on fire right now with claims that major international banks are secretly getting ready for a huge revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong in 2025. These rumors are everywhere: Telegram, forums, and right here on YouTube, creating a mix of massive excitement and serious skepticism. So what's the story? It all started when online commentators began claiming that big banks across the US, Europe, and the Middle East were updating their foreign exchange systems. We're talking new rate change features and special training for exotic currencies. RV supporters are saying this is the smoking gun that banks would make these kinds of coordinated upgrades unless a massive global currency shift was just around the corner. For them, this confirms long-held beliefs that the dinar and dong are about to skyrocket in value. Why these two currencies? Well, the dinar has been a hot topic for over a decade. Believers point to Iraq's rising oil revenue and financial reforms as signs that the country is preparing for a stronger currency. Meanwhile, Vietnam's economy is booming. It's one of Asia's fastest-growing markets, attracting huge international investment. This fuels the idea that its currency, the dong, is seriously undervalued and due for a major correction. There are gradual processes to avoid shocking the global economy. Second, neither Iraq's nor Vietnam's central banks have given any official indication of a massive revaluation in 2025. Third, those supposed system upgrades? Economists say they're just routine maintenance. Banks update their tech and security all the time. And finally, a sudden, drastic revaluation could actually hurt these countries' economies by making their exports too expensive. Despite this, the online RV communities are more divided than ever. Optimists are convinced 2025 is the year, claiming they have inside sources confirming the bank preparations. On the other side, cautious voices are warning everyone not to get swept up in the hype, reminding us that we've heard similar predictions year after year. So, could a dinar or dong RV actually happen in 2025? While there's no evidence of a secret, coordinated bank plan, real-world factors are at play. If Iraq continues its reforms and Vietnam's economy keeps growing, we could see a gradual, slow appreciation of their currencies over time. But a dramatic, overnight jump based on internet rumors, that remains highly unlikely. For now, the debate rages on, fueled by hope and speculation. The best advice is to stay informed, rely on official sources, and be incredibly careful about making financial decisions based on unverified online claims. Have you heard the latest buzz? Fresh claims are tearing across the internet, suggesting major banks worldwide are secretly getting ready for a massive revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong in 2025. This has absolutely ignited online forums and YouTube discussions, with investors getting incredibly excited while others are shouting it down. But what's really going on? Let's break it down. This new wave of speculation started when certain influencers and currency commentators claimed that large international banks were quietly tweaking their internal systems. We're talking about new rate change functions, beefed up security, and even special training for staff on how to handle exotic currencies. To believers, these aren't just random updates. They argue that banks would make such specific changes unless something huge was on the horizon, like a synchronized global currency reset. The year 2025 is now being whispered as the potential turning point. So, why are the dinar and dong always at the center of these rumors? For Iraq, optimists point to its improving economy. With rising oil exports and crackdowns on corruption, many feel the country is paving the way for a stronger currency. Meanwhile, Vietnam has become a global manufacturing powerhouse. Its economy is booming, exports are soaring, and many argue the dong is seriously undervalued and due for a major correction. Proponents say this kind of planning is essential. Without it, a sudden RV could cause total chaos, leading to fraud, price manipulation, and massive liquidity problems. It sounds plausible, right? A secret plan to prevent a global financial meltdown. However, mainstream economists and currency experts are throwing cold water on the whole thing. They say this story just doesn't match reality. First, they emphasize that massive, overnight revaluations are practically impossible without wrecking a country's economy. Currency adjustments are almost always gradual and carefully managed. It could crush a country's export industry, inflate government spending, and seriously disrupt economic stability. On the other side, cautious voices are urging everyone to stay grounded, reminding people that we've heard these same promises for years with nothing to show for it. This has created a lot of tension, with supporters and skeptics clashing online, which just shows how emotionally invested people have become. Vietnam's incredible economic growth could slowly lift the dong's value. But none of these things point to the massive rapid revaluation that the rumors suggest. The debate is hotter than ever, but for now the story of a coordinated 2025 RV remains just that, a story. The gap between hope and reality is as wide as ever. Will 2025 be the year everything changes, or just another chapter in a long history of speculation? My advice? Be cautious, stick to credible information, and don't bet your life savings on unverified online chatter. There is a massive wave of new rumors suggesting that major global banks are quietly getting their systems ready for potential revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong, possibly as soon as 2025. Now, to be crystal clear, no official source has confirmed any of this. But the sheer volume of chatter shows just how powerful these RV narratives have become. Let's break down what people are saying, what experts think, and what it all means for you. So, where did this latest round of speculation come from? It all kicked off when several online currency commentators started claiming that banks worldwide were rolling out major software updates. These weren't just any updates. The claims suggest they include new protocols for handling foreign exchange rates, better fraud prevention, and even special training for staff on how to process exotic currencies. For many long-time investors, this was the signal they've been waiting for. The argument is simple. Why would banks go through all this trouble and expense if they were unpreparing for something big? The idea of a coordinated global currency event in 2025 quickly went viral. Now, why do the dinar and dong always seem to be at the center of these discussions? Well, for Iraq, believers point to the country's gradual financial stabilization. We're talking about rising oil revenues, better government oversight, and a serious push to modernize their financial institutions and fight corruption. Supporters see these as clear signs that Iraq is laying the groundwork for a much stronger currency. Then you have Vietnam, which is an absolute economic powerhouse in Asia. Its economy is growing at a rapid pace, trade relationships are expanding, and global investment is pouring in. Many argue that the dong is currently undervalued, and that its true worth will eventually be reflected in a higher exchange rate. For years, the hope for a dramatic RV for both currencies has been a powerful force in certain investment circles, and these latest rumors have just added more fuel to that fire. The core of this new excitement is the idea of global bank coordination. The theory is that banks across the world are working together to ensure a smooth, controlled revaluation. This would supposedly involve simultaneous rate changes across all major banking networks, real-time synchronization of financial systems, and enhanced anti-money laundering rules to handle the flood of currency exchanges. Proponents argue that without this level of coordination, a sudden RV could cause chaos, system overloads, and market manipulation. They believe the banking sector has to be secretly working in unison for this to happen. However, it's crucial to look at the other side of the coin. Mainstream financial experts and economists are overwhelmingly skeptical. They strongly disagree with these claims, and their reasoning is pretty straightforward. First, They say that massive overnight currency reevaluations just don't happen in the modern economy. Such a sudden jump would seriously destabilize global trade. Second, neither Iraq's nor Vietnam's central bank has given any indication of a major revaluation. These institutions typically announce significant policy changes well in advance. Third, and this is a big one, banking system upgrades are completely routine. Banks are constantly updating their software for cybersecurity, regulatory compliance, and simple efficiency. Experts warn that it's highly misleading to interpret these normal operational updates as secret preparations for an RV. Finally, a huge overnight increase in the value of the dinar or dong could actually harm their local economies, crippling their export markets and creating financial chaos. Despite these strong counterarguments, believers remain convinced that the real moves in the financial world happen behind closed doors. As you can imagine, the currency community is buzzing with activity. Some influencers are doubling down, insisting they have credible inside sources confirming that banks are gearing up for 2025. Others are urging caution, reminding everyone that similar predictions have come and gone for years without anything happening. Online forums are filled with heated debates, emotional arguments, and a lot of passion on both sides. So, is a 2025 RV really possible? While the sensational rumors remain unverified, there are legitimate factors that could influence these currencies. If Iraq continues its financial reforms and improves transparency, the dinar could see a gradual, steady strengthening. Similarly, Vietnam's incredible economic growth could lead to a modest appreciation of the dong over time. But it's important to note that none of these factors point to the kind of immediate dramatic revaluation that the rumors suggest. In conclusion, the currency world is once again captivated by the idea that a dinar and dong RV is just around the corner, with 2025 being the magic year. But while this narrative is exciting, there is still no solid evidence to back it up. The gap between speculation and reality seems to get wider with each new wave of hype. For now, the smartest approach is to remain cautious, stick to verified information from official sources, and avoid making major financial decisions based on unconfirmed online chatter. Only time will tell what 2025 has in store. Have you heard the latest buzz? A massive rumor is sweeping the internet, claiming that a huge global financial shift is right around the corner. Some people are saying that in 2025, currencies like the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong could skyrocket in value. While there's no official confirmation, this idea has ignited a firestorm of excitement and debate. Let's break down what's really going on. The new rumor started with claims from several online currency personalities. They suggest that major banks in the US, Europe, and the Middle East have been secretly updating their internal systems. We're talking about new exchange procedures and stronger compliance for less common currencies. For believers, these aren't just routine updates. They see it as a clear sign that banks are getting ready for a coordinated, worldwide currency revaluation. The logic is that these changes are too widespread and specific to be a coincidence. This theory has gone viral, with many convinced that 2025 is the year everything changes. So why all the focus on the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong? Well, for a couple of reasons. Supporters of the revaluation, or RV, point to Iraq's ongoing economic reforms. The country is making more money from oil, partnering with global groups, and cleaning up its financial sector. The hope is that all this will lead to a much stronger dinar. Then there's Vietnam. It's becoming a powerhouse in manufacturing and exports. Foreign investment is pouring in and its economy is booming. Many argue that the Vietnamese dong is seriously undervalued and long overdue for a major adjustment. Plus, both of these currencies have been at the center of RV speculation for years. For longtime followers, these new rumors just add fuel to a fire that's been burning for a long time. The core of this new theory is the idea of secret coordination. The claim is that banks around the world are working together behind closed doors to ensure a smooth transition. This could involve things like updating exchange rates all at once, creating special systems for cross-border transfers, and even setting up centers to handle large currency exchanges. Proponents say a major revaluation would be chaotic without this kind of global teamwork. To them, it's the only way to avoid market meltdowns and fraud. But what do the experts say? Well, they're not buying it. Economists and financial professionals are pushing back hard against these rumors. Their main point is that major currency changes almost never happen overnight. A sudden dramatic revaluation could send shockwaves through the global economy, causing massive instability. It's just not how things are done. Furthermore, neither Iraq's nor Vietnam's central bank has given any indication of a planned revaluation, let alone some secret global event. Experts also argue that what people are calling secret preparations are just routine banking updates. Banks are always improving their software, security, and compliance. It's normal business, not a sign of a hidden conspiracy. And from a purely economic standpoint, a massive overnight revaluation could actually hurt a country's economy by making its exports too expensive. Despite this strong pushback from experts, many believers remain unfazed. Some even argue that the lack of official evidence is proof that it's just being kept secret on purpose. This has caused a lot of division within the community. You have the optimists, who are convinced this is the final countdown. You have the skeptics, who warn that similar rumors have come and gone for over a decade. And then you have intense arguments, with each side accusing the other of either spreading false hope or being too negative. So, is a 2025 revaluation realistic? While the dramatic overnight event described in the rumors seems unlikely, there are real factors that could affect these currencies. If Iraq continues to improve its governance and financial stability, the dinar could gradually gain value over time. Similarly, as Vietnam's economy continues to grow stronger, the dong could also see a slow, sustainable appreciation. But notice the key words, gradually and slowly. None of the real-world trends point to the sudden explosion in value that the rumors promise. In the end, we're left in a familiar place. The currency community is buzzing with speculation, fueled by exciting but unverified claims. While the idea of a 2025 RV is thrilling, there's still no solid proof to back it up. Until we see official announcements or concrete evidence, the smartest move is to stay informed, be skeptical of sensational claims, and make decisions based on facts, not hype. Today, we're rediving into a topic that has been setting the internet on fire lately. A massive rumor about a global currency revaluation, or RV, potentially happening in 2025. This has sent shockwaves through Telegram groups, investment forums, and just about everywhere online. So, what's really going on? Let's break it down. The buzz started when several online personalities claimed that major international banks were secretly updating their foreign exchange systems. We're talking new security features, advanced rate adjustment tools, and even special training for handling exotic currencies. For followers of the RV narrative, this was the signal they've been waiting for. They believe this is proof that banks are getting ready for a huge global event, arguing that such specific upgrades wouldn't happen without a very good reason. And the most logical reason? A coordinated revaluation of currencies like the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong. As you can imagine, this idea spread like wildfire, fueled by pure excitement. So why do investors keep coming back to the dinar and dong? Well, there are a few key reasons. First, many see Iraq as slowly but surely rebuilding its economy. With increasing oil production and new financial reforms, they believe it's only a matter of time before the dinar gets stronger. Then there's Vietnam, which has become a global manufacturing giant, attracting tons of foreign investment. Supporters argue that its currency, the dong, is seriously undervalued compared to the country's economic power. And finally, there's over a decade of built-up anticipation. Many long-time believers are convinced a global financial reset is inevitable, and these two currencies will be at the center of it all. The core of this new rumor is the idea of worldwide bank alignment. The theory goes that banks across the globe are synchronizing their systems to handle a simultaneous revaluation. This would involve things like real-time system updates to prevent delays, much stricter anti-fraud measures for large exchanges, and even setting up special locations for people to redeem their currency. Pro-RV voices say this level of coordination is absolutely necessary to prevent chaos. Without it, a sudden currency change could crash markets and cause widespread panic. However, it's crucial to hear the other side. Economists and financial experts are overwhelmingly skeptical. They dismiss these claims as economically unrealistic for several reasons. First, major currency reevaluations almost never happen overnight. They are typically gradual processes to avoid destabilizing the market. Second, there have been zero official statements from the governments of Iraq or Vietnam about a planned revaluation for 2025 or any other time. Third, they point out that banks upgrade their systems all the time for cybersecurity and compliance. It's a normal part of business, not a secret sign of a global reset. And finally, a massive sudden jump in the value of the dinar or dong would actually hurt their economies by making their exports much more expensive. Despite this strong opposition, the online community remains deeply divided. The optimists are convinced that 2025 is the year, with some influencers claiming their inside sources confirm that banks are quietly preparing. On the other side, skeptics are urging caution, reminding everyone that we've heard these predictions for years. This has led to some pretty intense debates, with accusations flying back and forth. The one thing that's certain is that emotions are running incredibly high. So, could an RV actually happen in 2025? While a sudden dramatic revaluation seems unlikely based on the evidence, there are real-world factors that could influence these currencies. If Iraq continues its path of economic modernization and reform, we could see a gradual strengthening of the dinar. Similarly, as Vietnam's role in global trade expands, the dong could appreciate steadily over time. But these are slow, controlled changes, not the overnight windfall many are hoping for. To wrap it all up, the rumor of a coordinated bank effort for a 2025 dinar-dong revaluation has once again captivated the currency community. But while the speculation is exciting, there's no official evidence to back it up. For now, it remains a powerful and persistent theory. As always, the smartest move is to stick to verified information and be cautious about making financial decisions based on online rumors. Only time will tell if 2025 brings a historic financial shift or just another chapter in this long and fascinating story. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of finance. See you in the next video.